So aloha, everyone, and welcome to this Heart to Spirit Connections webinar at a special time for our friends from Australia and Asia. And I see some of our friends right now. I'm so grateful to see you. It's been so long. I'm happy. My plan is working. I wanted to have my Asian and Australian friends here, so we're working on it. Yeah. So I just want everybody to know that this is the Heart to Spirit Connections webinar. We have it every month on the first Saturday, and it's a free webinar. And our focus is expanding our heart's connection with spiritual guidance and elevating our awareness of love using the tools of Lemurian conscious creation, including signature cell healing, the 10 principles of consciously creating, all created from my mentors, Kahu Fred Sterling and Master Guide Kiro. So I'm so grateful to be carrying on this legacy of the Lemurian wisdom, and I'm grateful to have all of you here today. There's more events coming up this month, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. But first of all, I'd like to start with a centering prayer. So everybody just sit comfortably and take some deep breaths. So bring it in through your nose, golden particles above your crown chakra, and just like a dolphin breath, just bring those golden particles through, down into your heart, through the pineal gland, into your heart, where it's now white light. Lock the breath, exhale through your mouth, and just keep breathing and relaxing and bringing in the spiritual guidance. As I call upon the Creator's light, the Christ light, the Goddess Weave of Love, our Master Guide Kiriel, Master Kahu Fred, Master Elion, and Master Jesus, and all the beautiful energies of love from the Lemurian Goddess Weave, Mother Allura, and all the beautiful lights of love that guide us in our journey, where we're here at a very special time on Earth called the Great Shift in Consciousness. And this is something that hasn't come forth since the time of Lemuria, and here we are again. What we know in our goddess lights, we're ready, and we're ready to be in service in this light of love. And my gratitude to all those that came forth here now to be with us in this webinar. And I offer it for the highest good of all. So it is in love. Amen. So hopefully that'll center us for now. We're in a new month now, the last month of the year. December is the 12th month, and that's the Trinity energy now, because 1 and 2 together make the 3. And the Trinity is the Trinity of truth, trust, and passion, the first 3 numbers of the 10 principles. So we do a lot with the Lemurian numerology that Kahu and Master Kiro brought forth in the workshops and in my webinars and in my readings. The Lemurian numerology is very, very important for understanding, even in a healing session, what's going on for you. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later. But first, I got my Lemurian prophecy cards over here. And I'm going to take them out. Here they are. And I'm going to choose a Lemurian prophecy card for this reading, for this particular webinar that we're doing today. So I'm going to shuffle 5 times, because that is the number for love in Lemurian numerology. So 5 times, that's the number for love. Okay, so everybody send your light into the cards. Whoa, okay, got it. And now I'm going to cut the cards, and we'll see what we get to guide our webinar today. Oh, great. Oh, you're going to love this. So we are definitely in the goddess light here today. So we follow with the cards, we follow the Lemurian numerology, right, up to 10. But when we get to the queen, the king, and the ace and the jack, then that becomes a little bit different. And the queen represents your goddess light. And the goddess light is such an important force right now for the great shift in consciousness, because we, the goddesses, and you're all goddesses, we, the goddesses, are here to herald the great shift in consciousness. And these ladies that are joining me from Australia know that very well, because we went there to many, I don't know, when was that we were there? 2012, I think, to bring forth a beautiful hook release, to release the hooks that are holding the energy of the third dimension to the earth plane, and to bring in the fourth light, and now fifth light energies are coming through. So what a great reminder that we're here in our goddess lights. And it's not an easy journey to be a goddess on earth, an incarnate goddess, but you can do it. And we all have these colors, right? So I'm a purple goddess, and you can discover your goddess color. You could go to my website. I've got the colors there. You can do a reading and find out. Also, the Lemurian numerology is on my website. So we're here in our goddess light today, and the suit, the hearts, is the emotional body. So we have the spades as the spiritual, the mental body is the clubs, the diamonds is the physical body, and the emotional body is represented by the hearts. So here we are in our emotional goddess light. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I grew up in a family where that was an energy that was not very well honored. And everything was about, figuring it out mentally and being smart, and don't show your emotions. But we know now that the emotional body is where the healing is happening for us. And that's the most powerful body out of the four. I guarantee you that. It is so, because why? Because you're going to find that's where your truth is. So when we get into our hearts and we actually feel our love, our emotional body, we're going to find the truth. And when we listen to our hearts, we'll always know what we need to do, right? Am I right? I mean, I think so, and I've experienced that myself. So I want to tell you that if you have any questions at any time, you can raise your hand and I'll get to you, or you can type it into the chat, just like Mahina Ku just wrote, happy December to everybody. Thank you, Mahina Ku. And we'll get into our topic. So before we leave the numerology, does everybody here know their life path number, the number that you came with in this lifetime? Because that's a really important part of our healing. So if you take your the month, the day, and the year that you were born, and add them all together and come down to one digit, that will give you your Lemurian life path number. And mine is a 5. So how perfect. I'm working on love all the time. And it's, whatever number we have, it's a beautiful healing journey, right? And that has to do with the reflections that we create in our lives. And that's part. Okay, so Sandra's a 3. I love that, because that's truth, trust, and passion. And I know Wendy is also, yes, a 3. Anybody else, just go ahead and type it in the chat if you know. It's kind of fun. Okay, so Tatiana's a 7. Oh, that's great. And Uma's a 6. Mastery. Wonderful, Uma. Oh, that's beautiful. And also Leanne is a 6. And yes, Suzanne is our rose goddess from Australia, and she's a 5. Another, I didn't realize you were a 5 too. That's beautiful. Okay, great, wonderful. So when you are healing someone, if you're doing a healing session, you might want to find out what your client, or what your, the person you're healing, your healee, what is their number? So take their number and add it to your number, and then you can, and bring it to a single digit again, and find out what is the focus of you and that person being together. And you can do that with any type of relationship. So it's really a beautiful way of receiving guidance. And I think that is what Master Guide Kirill and Kahu really guided us to. He didn't give us the answers. They guided us to the way to get our answers. And I want to do that myself for everyone as well. So let's get to our topic for today. And our topic for today is prophecy of belief. Believe it and you will see it. And what this is about, prophecy of belief is something that Kahu spoke of many times. And what it's about is our world that we live in, right? Everybody sees the world differently, of course, because the world is a world of illusions that we have created to have a particular experience. So nobody else's experience is going to be the same as yours or mine. We're all going to have unique experiences because we come in with a blueprint in the pineal gland, in the signature cell, that has our life plan and everything we want to experience, everything we want to learn. We put it in that blueprint. And then we create this belief system through our family, where we live, the culture of where we live, where we're raised, the people around us, our parents, our friends. We create this belief system that allows us to experience those things in the blueprint. And it's not good or bad. There's nothing good or bad about any of this. It's about the journey. It's about our healing journey and what we came here to do. So the world around us reflects what we believe back to us. And if we ever want to shift it, if we want to shift our belief systems, or we want to shift what we've got going in our lives, then we need to change the way we see things, or the way we feel about things, or the way we believe about things. So we don't really see with our eyes. That's the key now. We don't see with our eyes. We really see with our brain. And our brain is like a processing unit. So our eyes fill in what our brain is filling in what we see. So through our beliefs and what we expect to see, that's what we're going to see with our eyes. And that's really interesting when you think about it, isn't it? Because if that's the case, then what's going on out there? What's going on in the world? But it all depends on what you pay attention to and what you're focused on. Because what you're focused on, your higher self and the world, or your spiritual guidance thinks, okay, she wants more of that, so let's give her more of that. She's always focused on the news. Let's give more of that. So when I turn off the news and go into my heart and get my news, I feel a lot better about the world. And I have some people in my life that say, well, you're just a dreamer and you're not living in reality. And then I always wonder, whose reality are they talking about? Because there's so many different versions of what's going on in our world, right? So why don't we just choose our own reality and create it in love? There's a beautiful quote that Kahu, first of all, Kahu always has said, belief informs your journey more than you know. So we have the ability to focus and expand the beliefs and the feelings and create change in our life, and also change in the world. This quote that Kahu often put in his workshops was from Max Planck, who was a quantum physicist, and he said, change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Isn't that great? So here, let me just show you this picture here. I'm going to do a little screen share here. Let's see if we can get this right. Okay, everybody see that? So this is our theme photo for our webinar. And this is imagine this little kitty would be you, and seeing the tiger. So if we can look in that mirror and see the good things about ourselves, and even imagine the best for ourselves, or imagine really great things for ourselves, we can create those in our lives. And it doesn't have to be something way out of reach. It can just be something better. And that's why we have the 10 principles of consciously creating, because the 10 principles will take you through truth, trust, and passion, all the way to the 10th principle, masterminding. And you, in masterminding, you can create what you want in your life. And you do it by, creating a statement of intention and bringing somebody into that mastermind with you, and creating a world that you desire. So that's what this little kitty is doing here, imagining greatness. So when we, it's a lot better than looking in the mirror and seeing, oh, I look so awful today, or, what's going on? Am I getting old? Or, this kind of stuff. What if we just look in the mirror and see and say to ourselves, I love you, you're getting better every day, and you're doing great. How about that? And be our own best cheerleader. That's what I really love. Okay, so that's our theme photo. And I want to, does that bring up any questions, or am I going through this too quickly? You all already got this, or have you got questions? I feel Sandra has got a question. No? Come on, Sandra. Anyway, let me tell you, while we're waiting and you think of question that you might like to ask, I want to tell you a joke that I heard a while back. And this has to do with this taxi driver. And there was a taxi driver that was driving people from the airport into the city where she lived. So she was the taxi driver, and she picked up a lot of people and just drove them back and forth. So this day, the taxi driver picked up a business person sitting in the back seat, and they say, what are the people like here? Because where I come from, they're really awful, and there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of contention, and people are afraid. And the taxi driver said, well, you'll probably find a lot more people like that here. And so then she drops the business person off, goes back to the airport, picks up another business person. They get in the taxi, and that person says, what are the people like here? Because where I'm from, they're really nice and they're really beautiful. We have great things going on in our city. Everybody's very supportive. And the taxi driver says, well, you're probably going to find a lot more people like that here. What do you think? So that is the way it is. It's really the way it works. So where you are, and I got a thumbs up from Wendy, wherever you are, there you are. And I see this in my own life with people who are really focused on, both ways. People that are focused on pain and suffering in their own body, which, we all have these experiences. But if we can get beyond the pain, get beyond the suffering, and get back into joy and be joyful in our lives, you can do so much more. And if you live with somebody like that, you can refocus that person, because when they start to go off in that direction, like the first person in the taxi, you can refocus them and say, isn't it beautiful weather today? Or have you seen the new baby next door, or something, anything like this? Get them off of this grind, right? And refocus them. And it's not that you're denying their reality. What you're really trying to do is bring them into yours, right? And lighten them up a little bit. Anyway, let's look at Sandra. Okay, so in the chat, Sandra, here's another possible way of presenting this idea for those of us such as myself who've had to deal with deception, trickery involving unduly influencing my ultimate beliefs. What if we see and in turn believe is not what we hear or read? Then we need to realize that we see and in turn believe is not true to ourselves, and thus start to uncover truth by focusing again on what we ourselves truly believe without anyone influencing us. Yes, Sandra, what you do is stay in your heart. Stay in your heart and continue to focus on the good in your life. Even, if, and then a lot of people might say, well, I have nothing positive in my life to focus on. The thing is, I don't believe that. If the sun is shining, we have something to celebrate. If it's you live near a park, you can go for a walk in the park. It's beautiful. So take your focus off the things that make you feel awful and focus on the things that make you feel really good. And keep doing that 5-breath self-healing meditation that Kahu taught us. These new self-healing techniques that we learn about in the First Steps to Signature Cell Healing online workshop, these are all the self-healing techniques. This is so important right now because a lot of spiritualists might not be in an area where you've got a group around you, in your area. So some of us, I have a group here, right? But maybe you're on your own in a certain area. Do the 5-breath self-healing 5-breath self-healing meditation. You can do the vagus nerve meditation. We've got all kinds of self-healing things that help us to remember and takes us out of the 3rd dimensional yin yang, because there's going to be plenty of people on this earth plane that want to be there, or they need to be there because it's part of their journey. So we as goddesses, we as spiritualists, as signature cell healers, we're going to elevate ourselves and just stay in our hearts. And this is how we shift the planet, because there will be more and more people who understand this, and the frequency of love will rise on the earth. So if you have somebody in your life, like you mentioned, deception and trickery and that type of thing, don't miss the lesson plan, right? Because if something like that is happening, I mean, I want you to focus on positive things, sure. But if we've got something happening in our lives and we're attracting someone like that, we need to find out, what's the reflection for me in my life, because the relationships are meant to be a healing focus. They're meant to help us heal. So who's talking? Sandra, go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt though. All
No,
right, but it involves truth, though truth can be slightly different to each person.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, Sandra. I don't want to interrupt, but it doesn't matter. What's true to you is the important thing. So stay
right. So if what they're reflecting to me, even in words, is not what I believe of myself, then I have to realize that I'm being deceived. Because they're misrepresenting me. And if I'm supposedly reflecting back to them what is not within me, then I'm trying to support what your theme for today is. It's beautiful because it pertains to quite a lot of us in this world right now.
Yes.
Then we have to realize that what they claim about us is truly what they believe, whether they're willing to acknowledge it or not, within themselves, or that person is claiming that what we're portraying to that person is what they are portraying to us in truth. But what it is, deception and trickery is like the opposite of it's an illusion within an illusion. That's why it gets so confusing, because
So,
what they're
Sandra,
reflecting to us is what they truly want to portray to the other person, such as myself.
okay,
But
Sandra, let me
isn't it,
interrupt here and say that what the focus always is on the self, right? So say I in every sentence with I. That's the trick. And the reflections, okay, these whoever is in our life are in there to propel our healing journey. So the people around us, including spouses, brothers and sisters, we're going to see in them where our beliefs might need to expand or be adjusted or something, but always we focus on the self. And if you're focused on the love for you, Sandra, your love for self, it won't matter what these people do. Focus on the love for you.
well, it matters with if they're misrepresenting us in harmful ways.
Okay, so not to go into too much detail because this sounds like some kind of legal thing, but
Or
wait, Wendy, go ahead. Wendy's got to share. She's always really good at this stuff.
I certainly appreciate what you're saying, Sandra. And in my life, because I feel fairly these days, actually, so I'm supposed to have wisdom now. But what strikes me in my own life is that in every situation, I do have a choice. No matter what anyone says or does, I have the choice, and I know I'm coming from love. That is where my heart is now, and if it doesn't resonate, I just simply don't go there. And a simple thing that would be an example of how I think we're influenced by everything, news, everybody. We have to make a choice in every second in our lives. That's really what it comes down to. And there was just a little documentary on about some lovely little floating island in a circle in Brazil, and it just magically floats around. And I think it's foliage, but they study it and they don't know what it is. And the filmmaker said, "This is great for a horror story." And as soon as he said that, I thought, well, wait, this is magic. This is a magical island. And in that second, I just thought that's how our life is. We just make choices about everything. And so it's just choosing, no matter what anyone does, to go to our own heart and our own love and your teachings, Karinna, and stay with the signature cell healing and just don't go any other place, no matter what they do, Sandra.
Right. Well, that's so great, Wendy. Thank you for bringing in that element of choice. And yeah, we all are empowered to make a choice. And then maybe, there's always the thought, I don't have a choice. You do have a choice. We always have a choice about first of all, how we feel about anything. So choosing love and staying in our hearts, that's the first choice that we make. And watch that, where we are making choices in our beliefs and in our feelings. Yeah, thank you so much, Wendy. We are a half an hour in right now, and I want to give us all an opportunity to, you can put any other responses or questions in the chat and we'll get to it, but I wanted to do a meditation just for a few minutes. So if everybody can just get comfortable. And we start with the breathing, and that is the golden particles above your crown chakra. Breathe them in through the pineal gland. And in the pineal gland, in the signature cell, they turn into white light. Now draw the white light down into your heart, lock it there, and weave the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies together. And exhale out your mouth, and just keep that really magical breathing that Kahu taught us to do. Keep it going. And just center where you are right now and begin to bring your awareness down into your heart and just feel this centeredness that you have right there in your heart chakra. Keep breathing, feel yourself there. Let go of any thoughts about, you left something on the stove or anything like that, anything else going on. Just center right here, right now, in your heart with us here. And feel that magical space of love. This is the love for you and your journey. This is the love of the Creator within you. So the Creator force of all love and light is within each of us. We have a particle of light in our hearts that connects us into the Creator's light. We're never separated from the Creator, even though we feel sometimes that it's like that, but it's not. We're always within the loving light of creation. So now feel this love for yourself and begin to let your heart expand out from your physical body into your emotional body. And just feel yourself expanding. The love that you are, the Creator, your goddess light, is expanding out now around you, out into your mental body and into your spiritual body, until you have this beautiful bubble of light around you, this loving space where you can feel who you truly are. And now send this light, send out a beam of light from your heart to someone in your family. Maybe somebody you might be, working on your relationship with them, or somebody that you truly connect with. Send your light out to your family, to your friends, and just see them enveloped in this love and this light. And expand your light out and take in now the city where you are, the country where you are. And feel yourself just getting larger and larger and taking in the whole earth plane, all of Mother Earth with your love and light. And just feel the honor that we all have to be here at this time of the great shift in consciousness. Connected in love, all of us here on the webinar, but also all around the world. Just create a beautiful bubble of light around our planet and feel the love that makes a difference. And know that you can shift everything in your world when you hold yourself and everyone in love. So now start to bring this energy back again, back to where you are, the city, the country where you are, and come back into your four-body weave, your spiritual, the mental, the emotional, your physical body. And just take a moment to feel your heart light and know this is your truth. This is the truth of who you are. And it's always there, and you can always access it whenever you need to. So gradually take a moment, come back into this space, and know that this is the love that you can always find whenever you need it. Whenever you have a rough day or a rough week, just come into your heart and know that it's all about love. All right, everybody come back. Come back gradually. How did that feel? I feel great. I needed that. That feels great. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Wendy. It was a wonderful meditation. So beautiful. Great feelings. Thank you, Uma. And Leanne, thank you. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful light when we remember it's all about love and focus on what we want to focus on, not what the mainstream news media wants us to focus on. Let's focus on love and sending love to anywhere that we feel needs it. And I wanted you to know that we do this every month in the Global Healing Meditation for Mother Earth. So please join us on Friday, December 22nd. That's our next meditation, and it's at 9 p.m. your local time. So we all, wherever we are on Mother Earth, go into this meditation at 9 o'clock, and it creates this wave. It's like a wave of light that goes around the planet. But before we embrace Mother Earth in this love, we send our light to Diamond Head in Honolulu and gather our energies there to create this weave. So you can read more about it on my website, and I have it in my newsletter, that the link to that page. And we've got a beautiful meditation code that we use and a chant from Mahina Ku for our chant of protection as we go in. Wow, great. Who is that? Susan, thank you. A lot of peaceful and loving feelings. I'm so glad that you enjoyed that. Do you have any other comments from the meditation or from our topic, from Believe It and You Will See It, the prophecy of belief? Because Kahu used to talk about this quite a bit. You know, it was really, he really delved into the power of our brain and our mind to create healing in our lives. And he, like I said, he called it prophecy of belief. And I went to him in meditation and asked for an update. And you'll find that channeling on my website, where he kind of updated his prophecy of belief message that he had previously. And that's on either the webinar page has part of it and a link to it, or you can go to, I think, Channeled Wisdom section. We'll also have that there. Tatiana, really glad you liked the meditation. Thank you. I also want you to know that we're going to have another free webinar this month and also in January, and it's called Heal Yourself with Signature Cell Healing. So this is a free webinar that I do occasionally, and this one is about everything signature cell healing. So we're going to talk about some of the basics of signature cell healing, but also some of the new techniques that Kahu Fred taught us in the last 5 years that he was here on the earth plane. So around 2017, he started developing with a team at the Honolulu Church of Light, the new signature cell healing. And it really is a quite different opening sequence and a lot of updated techniques for this part of our great shifting consciousness. So we talk about that in these webinars. So this webinar is going to be on the 23rd of December. And I know it's a busy time. You can watch the recording if it's too much. And it's going to be also at 1 o'clock Hawaii, which would be the same time slot. And please let me know how you feel about this time slot. The reason I'm choosing this is the time slot I'm going to use for the next First Steps online workshop in February and March. So the dates for the next, good. Yes, I got your communication, Leanne. I really do want to give an opportunity to my friends in Australia and in Japan and in Taiwan to participate in the online workshops, and also still have it at a time that's convenient for our United States friends. So yes. Oh, I'm glad you like that channeling, Sandra. Thank you. So I'm just going to check here quickly so I get the dates right for the First Steps, but that's coming up on 2 weekends, one at the end of February and the other at the beginning of March. And I'm doing it because you folks change for daylight savings time. In Hawaii, we don't change. So I'm doing it right before the time change so that we can, that I can work with the timing to get everybody in. So I'm looking for the dates now. It's on my website and also Signature Cell Healing website. Saturday and Sunday, February 24th and 25th, and Saturday and Sunday, 2nd and 3rd of March. So of course, if you're in Asian and Australian time zones, that's the next day, right? So I'm hoping Monday morning is not too bad for you folks. But I figured this might be a way of putting it at a reasonable time for people in the other time zones as well as United States. So that's going to be at 1 p.m. Hawaii for 2 weekends, and it's 2.5 plus. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes each time. So it's not overwhelming. And it'll be online, and you receive the Signature Cell Healing resource, self-healing resource bundle when you register. So you get that complimentary, and you're also going to get a 2-for-1 deal on print books, 2-for-1 deal on print books plus shipping, and also 50% off the audio files for the 10 principles of consciously creating. And I'll think up some more deals. Give me some ideas. Anyway, that is the opportunity that's coming up pretty soon. And the registration will open first part of January. And I hope you'll take part with me in that. That'll be a lot of fun. So coming to the end of our time, there's a question here. Will there be a recording if we were working on it? Yes, of course. Yeah, so you have you create an account on signaturecellhealing.com, and you go there into your account, and there's a special page for the recordings. Now, here's a bonus, because some of the people on this call know already, they've already done the First Steps online workshop, some several times. So thank you. When you're a graduate of the First Steps, you can come in on the review sessions. So there's a Signature Cell, First Steps of Signature Cell Healing graduates review session every 3rd Saturday. And it's special for the graduates. And you sign up every month, or you let me know. And we talk about great stuff, right, Wendy? We talk about really good stuff, and it's all the graduates supporting each other, which is a lot of fun. And right now it's only ladies in there. It's really nice. So please join me for that First Steps online workshop. That'll be great to see you. And I'm going to do the Heart to Spirit Connections webinar again first Saturday in January, which is January 6th, at the same time at 1 p.m. Hawaii, and whatever time it is there for you. And we're going to be speaking about completing this 7-year 2023 and moving smoothly into the new year of 2024. And 2024 is an 8-year, and you're going to want to listen to this webinar, because that energy of the 8 can be very tricky. And I have a few tips that I've gotten over the years from Master Guide Carol and Kahu about working with that number 8. A lot of people don't like it, like the energy of 8, but I love it because I learned how to work with it. And I'm going to tell you all about it because we're going to need it next year. The energy of 2024, the 8 year. Great. So have we got any final questions or shares or? Yes, Wendy, please go ahead.
Susan put a really good question in the chat, Karinna, which you had. I wonder if you could address that.
No, I didn't. I missed it. Okay, yeah. I really like this time slot. Thank you. On your topic, is believing as a healer during a healing important? Oh, that's such a good question, Susan. Thank you, Wendy, for telling me that. During a healing important. Also, you mentioned, let me answer that one first. The answer is yes. And you know, when I first, I don't consider myself a really gifted healer. Maybe I am now, but when I started, I was a pretty third dimensional person. I didn't start spirituality until I was in my 40s. And I had a lot of catching up to do. I'm in my 60s now, okay? So it's been a while. But when I first started with Kahu and Master Curel, signature cell healing was really free form. It wasn't the way, perhaps Uma, the way you've learned it, or the way that we're teaching it now. It was really free form, and it was very hard for me to do it. So I learned from the folks at the Honolulu Church of Light and this is what Kahu used to say: fake it till you make it. Just believe that it's happening, so you might think, well, I don't feel anything, when I'm scanning the person, or I don't feel the energy coming through me. But what if you believed that you did? What if you thought, if you say I can't or I don't, and we always say this in the workshops, never say I can't, or never say I don't, or never say I don't know, because those are the things that will shut it off for you immediately. If you say, I don't know, what's that? If somebody asks you something and you say, I don't know, what's that? Where's the conversation going after that? Nowhere. So say, I'm not sure, or I'm thinking about that, or whatever you can do to say, not say, I don't know, because it shuts down your goddess light, first of all. And we want to keep our energy open for guidance, for the channeled wisdom that we all have, right? So Susan, thank you. It is important to believe as the healer, and to know that your energy as the healer, you're channeling the light. It's not you. It's never me. I'm just the channel for the light going through to the person who's on the healing table. And that light is going into their cells and their cellular consciousness. And that's going to vibrate. And whatever lesson plans that they have, or whatever's ready to be released, or whatever we're working on, is going to start to come up through the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual body, and be released or be there to be worked on, right? So when you follow the signature cell healing techniques, that's what I love now, that follow the techniques and just know that they work. And when you're done with the healing, you let go of outcome. You let go of it. It's done. So when you say the closing prayer, the healing is complete. And that's it. So try to get out of regret or whatever, no, just keep moving forward. Also, you mentioned in the meditation, bringing your energy back, or just your awareness. Is that important too? They talk about calling your power back, but I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so in the meditation, Susan, I was thinking about, we had our energy all the way out around the world, and that can be, if you're going to go out into your world there in Australia, it can be a little, you got to come back in, right? So I wanted to bring everybody everybody's awareness, very good, awareness back in, and also your energy, right? Because if you're way out there, that can be very disorienting, because we still need to navigate the third dimensional world when we go out there, right? So it's better, we can be present in our 4-body weave and present in our hearts, but just know that we want to be centered when we're going through our day. So that was my intention. I hope that answered. So I think we've got a couple more shares. This new time seems good. I'm glad. And let's try it and see. Let's try it and see. Oh, okay. Instead of saying I don't know or I can't. Yeah, exactly. That's very good. Let's try it and see. I like that. That's very good. Yeah, anything but no, I don't know. So same conviction needed for the 5 breath self-healing meditation. Okay, 5 breath self-healing meditation. Can you explain that conviction? I think I lost the context.
Regarding like faking it until you make it, or believing that you on your outcome, believing that you will get the outcome you want.
Okay, so there I would say you need to believe it. You believe it, you have a vision of what it is, like with your mastermind, or you imagine in your meditation, this is how I want it, right? And then you walk forward, you just keep taking the steps. The steps are going to be lit by your guidance and your love to take the steps. And I don't think that's really fake it till you make it, but maybe it is. But you just keep moving forward, because we don't know. We might think we know, oh, if for me to get this, I've got to go this way. But what what if you went this way and then you went that way and you still got it, right? So yeah.
Just believing in your outcome, in the outcome you want.
Yes.
From the start.
Yes, you believe it. Believe it and you will see it. And
as a means of motivating oneself to persevere and making time to do it too. That it is important. You will reach your outcome by using this technique. You have to believe in your vision of this outcome in order to convince yourself to do this for yourself.
Believe it and you'll see it.
Yeah. I mean,
and with the 5 breaths, Sandra, you visualize the golden particles, but for anybody, yeah, fake it till you make it. Do the breathing, keep doing it. And yeah, just keep doing it, because you're going to feel better and better. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Any other shares? I have so enjoyed being with you today. This is amazing. I love seeing all old familiar faces and new familiar faces, and having you here. There'll be a recording on my YouTube channel or on my website. I usually put a link right on the homepage, but there, go to the webinar page, Heart to Spirit Connections, and you'll find several recordings there. And yes, I'm happy. I am thinking about you down under. I just didn't know exactly how to get it. Now I know. So it's great. Thank you, Leanne. It's wonderful that you're here. And great. Thank you, Mahina-ku. Thank you very much. So I look forward to seeing you folks again on the 23rd. Some of you on the 3rd Saturday. And I hopefully for the First Steps online workshop. I'm looking forward to that. And final thing to mention would be level 1 in-person workshop. Next year is my year to get back out on the road. And I'm looking at Northern California, the Bay Area, for a level 1 workshop in June. In June, after Tatiana's cruise. And that will be such a blessing, because we'll have an opportunity. If you've done first steps, we'll work out something where you don't have to repeat that unless you want to. We'll be, be hands-on. You'll be working on yourself first, and then on other people, and learn how to heal your family and friends. Level 1 and level 1 workshop, a little bit different than when we did it down under with Kahu in 2012. First of all, I don't think we had this signature cell ebook that you see behind me here, and we have a brand new level 1 manual that I'm just putting the finishing touches on. So we want to keep signature cell healing evolutionary and updated, and Kahu gave us all the tools to do that. So we're all love and gratitude to Kahu and Master Guide Kirill, who we miss dearly, but they're here, let me tell you. So everybody, thank you so much. I'm gonna stop the recording. Aloha and see you soon.